Joining me now to discuss the state of student loans is Washington Post national higher education reporter Danielle Douglas-Gabriel. Danielle, there's got to be a lot of people freaking out right now related to this policy change from the Trump administration. If you can, just break down some of the chaos surrounding student loans right now. Collections are starting. There's also this issue of credit bureaus now getting the reporting of people being delinquent. And then there's also the issue of continued forbearance. Just try and make sense of it for us.
So like you said, there are a lot of things happening all at the same time. But to be fair, there was a setup for this happening. I think the Biden administration had told student loan borrowers that this was coming. But in talking to a lot of different borrowers over the last several months, many were not aware, right? And honestly, I can totally understand how one could be confused about going back into full repayment. So as you mentioned, during the pandemic, many people had their student loans paused, and that ended in 2023. But then the Biden administration gave folks a 12-month grace period, right? Another extension of sorts where you could miss payments and it wouldn't be reported to the credit bureaus. That ended September 30th of last year. And when that did, a lot of people still weren't aware that they needed to start making payments. So I think some of the 4 million people that you're seeing who miss payments for 3 to 6 months are part of that population who weren't totally certain that this was it. This is time to start making payments. And then on top of that, you have a lot of the most affordable repayment plans, known as income-driven repayment plans, had been shut down for several months because of the court case that you mentioned earlier and an injunction that's in place. Now the Department of Education has reopened the application for those payment plans, but there's still a pretty sizable backlog. I think about 1.9 million people are in what's known as a processing forbearance, where they're not being asked to make payments as their applications for one of these affordable repayment plans are awaiting processing. So that's going to also resume next month. So we should start to see far more people than just the 38% that are currently in repayment starting to pay down their loans.
And if you are in this class of borrower that just can't afford to make these payments, what could end up happening to you?
I mean, certainly, you know, if you are unable to make your payments and your loans go delinquent, you will see your credit scores drop. If your loans go from delinquency to default, now that could have severe consequences on your ability to take out a loan, a mortgage, car loan. It could also affect your ability to get an apartment in some states, as well as a job in some instances. You know, there are lots of steps that borrowers can take to avoid those consequences of possibly losing your tax refund. That's another way that the government can collect involuntarily, as well as garnishing your wages. Some of the things that, you know, when I talk to borrowers, I would suggest contact your student loan servicer. If you don't know who that is, go on studentaid.gov, look up your loans, see which servicer you are assigned to, and talk to them about potentially a hardship forbearance if you really can't afford your loans, or enrolling in one of those affordable income-based repayment plans, which tie your monthly payments to your earnings. And that should at least afford you a more, you know, reasonable way and strategy to pay down your loans.
Probably the best advice, though, is not just to ignore it. This is serious. These payments need to start being paid back, and they're not going to fool around with it. Danielle, a very complex topic. Thank you so much for breaking it down for us so concisely. We appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.